Afternoon Drive Sports Talk Show from 4 to 6 right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Stuck in a state of falling behind? Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? This is State Farm Agent Matt McCormick. Let me help you simplify and get to a better state. With me handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. Even more money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and get to a better state with State Farm. 348-0464.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Cavaliers guard James Harden has a fracture in his right thumb. That's a non-displaced fracture, according to NBA insider Chris Haynes. Also for Harden, it's his non-shooting hand. He may try to play through the injury. He's listed as questionable for tonight's game against the Bucks. He will receive treatment. As for other teammates, Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell, they have been both ruled out for tonight's game against Milwaukee. Staying in Cleveland, this time in the NFL, Browns head coach Todd Monken spoke today about the quarterback situation involving Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
I think it's an open competition. I don't know why it wouldn't be an open competition. And I don't mean that saying it harshly, but I don't think there's enough on film over the last couple of years, one way or the other, to say, boy, we have a starter quarterback yet, whether internally or externally.
The Chicago Tribune says the Bears are allowing linebacker Tremaine Edmonds to seek a trade. Jaguars are playing back-to-back weeks in London next season. Both will be home games. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, and a good Wednesday afternoon to you. The Nate Brown Show is back. Glad you're a part of it. I appreciate you. Thanks for making this show possible across South Dakota. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, and we are live, thought-provoking sports talk for 2 hours, ready to go with some great guests from high school to college to the pros. We'll try and get you covered here with some good content. It is always a great day in South Dakota. Thanks for being here. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls. We're live on Fox Sports Rapid City, and a great guest lineup coming up. Let's stream it. If you can't catch us on the radio all 2 hours, you're on your drive home, but you can catch us on your phone. Really, a lot of places to do that. YouTube channel, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us building up our subscriber list. So if you want to do that now. YouTube Brown Show. Also on X right now. If you have an X account, it's easy to watch the show each afternoon at Nate Brown Show. Watch us live on X. Follow us first and then watch us live at Nate Brown Show. And finally, Midwest Sports Plus. Appreciate our partnership with Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app, and this show live streaming on your phone on Midwest Sports Plus, the new app. If you don't have it, you got to get it. Let's look at the guest lineup tonight. We will talk to Frank Schwab tonight, national NFL writer. Combine's going on. What does that all mean? We're not going to get into like the underwear Olympics today. We're not we're not going to break down the combine. We're going to break down the headlines from each team. And there are some teams that are interesting here, namely the Minnesota Vikings and where they're going. And so I'm going to break it all down. Broncos just hired somebody today. See that? New coach? Broncos hired a coach from University of Colorado. The Buffaloes, they're going to take the defense away from prime time. So we'll talk to Frank Schwab. He's based in Denver, national NFL writer for Yahoo Sports. He's coming up. We will go to Mike Zerr. Mike Zerr's the head coach of Brandon Valley girls basketball. They've been so good, and they've been in that title game, and I'm telling you, tough to beat. Mike Zerr and Brandon Valley girls basketball rolling again. The head coach for the Lynx on the women's side, he's coming up. Mike McFeely's in today. It's a double Mike hitter. What do we got to talk to Mike McFeely about? Let me guess. NDSU and more. Mike McFeely. Seeing some South Dakota sports fans who don't like Mike. You don't like Mike? Let's have that discussion. Is he antagonizing South Dakota sports fans on purpose? Is this right? Mike McFeely's coming up, columnist from FargoInforum.com. He is on tap. Good stuff tonight. If you want to get in, I will get you. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. That is the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Join us there. Powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Great location in Brandon as well. If you haven't hit the Fun Zone Arcade, take the kids and the family to the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. And hit us on the text line as well, 605-720-1067. Text line's open and ready. Text the show directly. Be a part of the conversation on your drive home, 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson listener text line. Okay, so this is interesting now. We're at the end of February, a lot of basketball talk, some football talk. You would rarely think that we would talk baseball, right? I talk baseball more than most hosts, just so you're aware. We're not going to break down every single divisional race in spring training. We're not doing that. But there is a big change to baseball coming. Why am I hitting on that here February 25th? Why? I want to start the show with it because I'm going to go on a little rant. I'm not a rant sports talk full of hot air hosts. Usually I'm not. I saved that for other stuff. I'm just going to go on a rant a little bit tonight, and this just isn't my choosing to start the show this way today. This is your choosing as well. I got an email about it. I'm getting people sending texts into the text line about it. I mean, that's rare. I'm sitting here going, wait, I got an email about Major League Baseball to my email about Major League Baseball at the end of February? I'm getting texts on the text line about this. And then when I put it up on social media, there's a ton of reaction to it already. So I said, I'm going to start the show with it because maybe I'm in the minority. I try and hit the mainstream with you guys. You guys have common sense in South Dakota. I try and be in the mainstream with opinions that you guys share. Sometimes I go against the grain. It happens. We don't all have to agree on everything. But this one here, am I off base on this? And I'm starting to wonder if I am. That's okay. I'm going to admit it. I'm okay with that. But what am I discussing? So I got an email about it, got texts about it, getting reaction on social media already about baseball at the end of February. Here's what it is, if you don't know what's happening, okay? The automated strike and ball system is coming to Major League Baseball this year. And so all of a sudden, people are kind of realizing that, wait, so we're going to actually have automated strike zone in Major League Baseball? Yes. So they've been doing this in spring training, so it's not like it's a stunner for like hardcore baseball guys. So if you're a hardcore baseball guy today, you knew this was coming. I'm talking about the casual, hey, like, oh, okay, spring training is getting going kind of early. I don't really care, but I got a buddy that goes down to Phoenix and takes in games. Okay, it happens. I've been to spring training. It's a blast. It's fun. But what's happening in spring training over the years is now going to be implemented in Major League Baseball this year. So I said, I think this is big enough to send it out on South Dakota Sports Talk Show and see where we stand on a big change to baseball, because baseball's been going through all these changes. The pitch clock, the DH. Okay, they went through some big changes. DH, both leagues, all that stuff. So I said, this is worth it. And I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this or not, but here's where this is coming, and here's what I see. I'm just watching the highlights of yesterday's game. a no-name game. It's nothing. It's Red Sox, Pirates, spring training. Everybody that's there is just enjoying the weather. They don't care. They're not even paying attention. So they're not even paying. They don't even care. But I am going to care if it gets into this regular season, which it will. So you guys that are watching the Twins, I'm watching my Cubbies. Whatever team you're watching, are you ready for the automated strike system? Are you ready for this system? You know how it's going to work, right? So just watch these highlights. If you want to find them on your phone, I want you to do this because I watch Pirates Red Sox highlights. 5 calls by the ump, ball strike. These are just ball strike. This is just the first inning. And then another one in the second inning and another one in the fourth inning. This is just minuscule stuff. And the hitters and the catchers and the pitchers, they get to challenge all of these balls and strikes. So they tap their helmet. That's how it's going to work this season when the real baseball starts. This isn't just a test run anymore when people don't care down in Phoenix. They're just burning up an afternoon and having a Chicago dog and acting like they're at Wrigley Field down in Mesa. No, this is going to happen in real baseball that matters. You're going to have batters, pitchers, and catchers tapping their helmets and challenging balls and strikes. And I'm just pointing it out tonight how this went as I watch Red Sox Pirates. They had 5 straight challenges, and the umpire was proved wrong. He was wrong on all of the challenges. And so here's the argument people are trying to make with me. Well, this is proving that the challenge system is needed. The umpire's getting it wrong. Guys, it's balls and strikes. It's balls and strikes. As I watch this system play out, everybody thinks it's like tennis. Oh, it's just quick. We go to it, see if it hit the line, if it's in or if it's out. It's just quick. Well, there's a lot of downtime in tennis. You're waiting for serves. You're doing this. Baseball is already a slow game. You guys know this. It's already a slow game. We're going to make it slower. And I know you can say, look at the studies in the minor leagues. It only added 2 minutes to each game. No. It's adding clunky stuff. Clunky. I mean, it's clunky. The umpire steps away from the plate. He announces to the whole crowd, the batter is challenging whether that was a strike or a ball. And we sit here and wait. We go to the T-Mobile ball and strike system. Oh, that was a ball. Okay, you get to keep your challenge. And they get to do this 2 times. 2 times. If they get it wrong, then it's over. So Jimmy could burn up the challenges in the first inning, and then when you guys want balls and strikes to be correct late in the game, it's not going to matter. So I just find the whole system's bogus. It's going to slow down the games, number one, and then it's not going to matter if we burn up challenges in the 3rd inning. One batter could burn up both challenges right there. He could burn up one. He could burn them up right there. And then it's over because you only get 2 challenges a game. You get 2 challenges a game. And you're going to say, well, Nathan, what's the big deal? They only get 2. No. They get unlimited if they keep getting it right. So they get unlimited. There's 2 things here. Pitchers and catchers have this relationship. They frame pitches. They do stuff like that. That is an art. I know people will say, you just got to get it right. Just get the balls and strikes right. Framing catchers, that's how they make a living. That is how they make a living. Are we really at that point where we just got to challenge balls and strikes? We're at that point where we got to get a 2nd inning strike right? Or a ball. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's clunky. It's going to slow down the games. I'm on this tangent. I'm saying, I watched this. The 5 straight challenges. 5 straight in the Pirates Red Sox yesterday. Just spring training, but this is going to be real this season. And I'm telling you, it's just unneeded. It's just unneeded. So maybe I am maybe I'm against the grain on this, but you can sound off if you want. I haven't made this our question of the day, but I do feel strongly that this is the whole thing, allowing players to challenge home plate umpires. They challenge them on balls and strikes. They stop the game. They look at it. They announce it to the crowd. I don't need that. I just don't need it, right? Do you need it? Do you want it? Do you like it? That's what I want to know from you. 605-720-1067. Maybe I'm against the popular opinion on this. I've got people that are sending me answers on social media right now. Let's see here. People have been sounding off on this. I want to go to some of your responses. 605-720-1067. Okay, 605-720-1067. Do you need the automated balls and strikes system? Do you need that in Major League Baseball? That's what I'd like to know. Listener text coming in. You are going to yell at the clouds about this ABS. Yes, you got it. You predicted it. He predicted it. That was a text that came in just now. You're going to yell at the clouds about the ABS. I think I'm not a ranter. I'm not a yeller. But I don't need this. I don't need this. Am I going to whine and complain when the Cubs get a strikeout in the second inning and it was just borderline? I'm not going to complain about that. We got 162 games. You got thousands and thousands of these calls, and we're going to have challenging balls and strikes because we think we got to get every single thing right. And then late in the game, you're thinking, well, we need this right late in the game. That's fine, but the challenges might be over. This isn't like huge plays in the NFL, guys. I'm okay if you want to do a challenge system overall. If you want to do a challenge system overall in Major League Baseball, that's been fine to me. They look, was he out? This is a play at the plate. That's been okay with me. So I'm good. I'm fine there. Those are huge plays. Balls and strikes really aren't. And we're just reinventing the wheel here. And it's going to start this season. It's amazing. Listener text coming in. I am against automated balls and strikes. You're against it. Okay, so I got some people on my side. 605-720-1067. Listener text, I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. Watched the same game against Pittsburgh, and by the third inning, I couldn't stand it. Yes, sir. This guy was in on this. I have to admit, I didn't watch the game. I just saw this coming out and said, hey, look at 5 straight challenges have been overturned. Okay, 5 straight, and the umpire then looked like a doofus, right? And then we all love killing the umpires. By the way, you guys do understand how hard it is to be a home plate umpire. We do understand how hard it is to be a home plate umpire. Everybody makes it sound like, well, just get them right. I understand some of these umps have been bad. Some of them, okay? Angel Hernandez, some of these guys, very bad. It's hard to be a home plate umpire. The way these guys are pitching and the velocity and the movement and the whole thing, everybody acts like it's easy. Just have the strike zone. It's so easy. It's not easy. It's just part of baseball. Listener text, this Red Sox fan said he couldn't stand it. They even show how off the pitch is, and some of them are less than 0.1 inches. Yes. So that's what I mean. So we're supposed to throw this umpire under the bus because he missed a ball and strike by 0.1 of an inch. 0.1 of an inch. That's how you guys want to play this? This is crazy. Let's see. Listener text. One of the players challenged a ball when the Red Sox were down 10-1. Yeah, we're down 10-1. I'm going to challenge that. That was a bad call. I'm challenging that. Well, the game's over. It's 10-1. I'm challenging it. I just keep the challenge system for all the big plays, the outs, the plays at the plate, all that stuff. That's good. The balls and strikes thing's over the top, and they're actually going to do this all season long. And don't tell me it's not going to make games clunky. That Red Sox-Pirates game yesterday was a mess through 4 innings. This is the first 4 innings. They have all these challenges. What a mess. Let's see. Listener text, Nate, I've seen it in action during minor league games. It takes no time to get it right. As long as CB Buckner is employed, baseball needs this. There are more CBs than good umps. No, but it does take time to get it right. It does take time to get it right. And I think we're looking for a solution when it's really not that big a deal in a 162-game schedule. Are you going to lose games coming down to 1 ball and 1 strike? Very rarely. Very rarely. It's called protect the plate. It's called be aware, framing pitches. It's baseball. This isn't automated stuff that that was a strike by 0.1 of an inch. Man, I'm glad we got that right in the first inning of a June 2nd game. We don't need it, guys. We don't need it. And it does take time. I just watched that yesterday. I just watched the Red Sox-Pirates 5 straight challenges. It does take time. It really does. We wanted to speed up the game at the pitch clock. Now this is going to slow it back down. I don't like it at all. I really don't. We'll discuss more. You tell me what you think. ABS is here to stay, and the spring training just got going, and you're starting to see it. This is going to be something you're going to watch. You guys are going to watch this, and it's really not going to be as big of a deal deciding games as people think. And then we're going to love picking on umpires that they're bad, that they miss calls, that they do all this. It's not that big a deal, and now Major League Baseball has stepped in it. I hope we have fun, everybody. Coming right back with Frank Schwab, Yahoo Sports. Big headlines across the NFL. Broncos hire a new coach, and what does Frank Schwab think the Vikings should really do at quarterback? Does he agree with me? Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
President's Day sale is on at Splash City. Rest, relax, and enjoy a new Sundance or Jacuzzi spa. Soothe your worries away with pure relaxation in the privacy of your backyard. Right now, during the President's Day sale, get 0% financing for 72 months on hot tubs and swim spas, or up to $5,000 in instant manufacturer rebates. Plus, get an accessory package valued at $2,000 with all qualifying purchases. But wait, there's more. Get 0% financing for 48 months on saunas. Visit Splash City in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, or Sioux City. It's time to make a splash. You've earned it.
Save big money on your next painting project at Menards. Pristine interior paint and primer in one is Dutch Boy's best hiding and most durable paint. It delivers a smooth, elegant finish while providing maximum scuff, stain, and mark resistance. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and get your painting project started today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 27 tonight under clear skies. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 60. Lows around 35 tomorrow night. Clear skies. Mainly clear Friday with highs around 60. 41 chance of snow Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 48 degrees.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of magic and laughter at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort with David Anthony's Evening of Magic and Hypnosis. Join us April 11th for a high-energy show packed with jaw-dropping illusions and hilarious interactive hypnosis that puts audience volunteers in the spotlight. Doors open at 5:30 with showtime from 6 to 7:30. It's fast-paced fun and full of surprises. You won't want to miss it. Visit CadillacJacksGaming.com to get your tickets today and see how your night plays out.
No one has more to choose from at a better price than Mr. Liquor in Rapid City. This month's specials include $5 off all flavors of Kahlua 750s, now $24.99. Save $5 off Traveler Whiskey from Chris Stapleton, now only $29.99. Or pick up Jameson Original and Orange 750s, now just $26.49. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores, off Catron next to Walmart, or on the corner of West Chicago at Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, welcome back in Your Sports, Your Show. We're just getting going. Hey, thanks for letting me know if you want the automated strike and ball system in Major League Baseball. It's debuting this season. It's going on in spring training. I think I don't need it. I don't need it. Some of you agree. Some of you said, no, this is going to be good. It's going to be good. I don't want the umpire announcing every pitch. Hey, it's been challenged, this ball and this strike, first inning, second inning, third inning. I mean, the Pirates-Red Sox game yesterday was a mess. It was a mess. I don't need it. The Nate Brown Show is on. You tell me. Automated balls and strikes. Every hitter, batter, pitcher, they can and catcher, they can challenge twice a game, but then it's unlimited if they keep getting it right. So twice a game or unlimited if you keep getting it right. You like it? You love it? We're split here tonight. 605-720-1067. Hit us on the text line as we get going tonight. Frank Schwab's on. Yahoo Sports. Covers the NFL and more. Frank, I'll ask you. Automated balls and strikes. Do you love it? Is this going to be save the day for Major League Baseball?
I do like it. Get the calls right. I mean, from me, yes, you're right. It does look a little messy in spring training so far, but, you know, they got to work out the kinks now. I think by the time we get to regular season, it'll be at least a little more streamlined and get the calls right. We've seen how many calls already they've missed. I mean, one umpire missed, 5 yesterday? Like in 2 innings or something like that. I think I saw on social media. So, yeah, I'm for it. It's just frustrating to have these umps, miss clear calls late innings. Your closer's on, he paints the corner, and it gets called a ball. Like, that's frustrating. Let's just get the calls right.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with sports betting? You're a big sports betting guy. You cover that. Does getting this right impact that?
I wouldn't see how. I mean, it will. I just don't know how there's a... I mean, in individual games, yes. If you bet on the Twins and they're Joe Ryan in the 9th inning gets a strike call at the end, like that, yeah, that impacts that bet. I don't know how it impacts necessarily a sport. Maybe there's more unders or more strikes being called. I haven't really thought it through that much, but I don't see a trend coming out of this. I just think it's going to help individual games where we're not sitting there at the end going, oh my goodness, that ump just completely blew that call that cost the Twins the game.
Frank Schwab on tonight. Find him at Yahoo Schwab on X and yahoosports.com. Let's go to the NFL. Combine's going on, and I don't mind too much about everything that goes on there, but some headlines I want you to read on. Broncos yesterday, Sean Payton announced he's going to give play-calling duties to Davis Webb. I wasn't surprised by it overall because Davis Webb was a hot commodity and he stays in Denver. Were you surprised Sean Payton, though, is going to give it up?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's a surprise that Davis Webb gets it. He's obviously a young, up-and-coming star in the coaching world, and the Broncos were going to do whatever it took to keep him and not have him leave for a head coaching job and all that kind of stuff, so promoting him made sense. it's not Davis Webb getting it; it's Sean Payton giving it up. I mean, Sean Payton's called plays forever, and you wonder, is he? I mean, if they go into a slump in the first month of the season, is he going to stick through this? I don't know, but I don't think it hurts either. I think, give Davis Webb a shot. Sean Payton's still going to be obviously very, very actively involved here, and he's not just going to be sitting on the sidelines just watching things happen. I mean, he's going to be a big part of it. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to turn out to be a good thing. New ideas, new something, a little more unpredictability from the Broncos. Him and Bo, all accounts are Davis Webb and Bo Nix are very, very close. So that might help that too. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up going, but. Yeah, I can't lie. I was surprised Sean Payton gave it up.
Here's where I'm at as a Broncos fan as I've watched him. Sean Payton was conservative for the most part, a ton of personnel groups in and out, and just kind of grinded through games. He didn't want to lose them, and then he ended up winning them. But when he opened it up, 2-minute stuff, that's when the Broncos did some stuff. So I wonder, it's still Sean Payton's offense and his personnel groupings. Can Davis Webb change the flow, though?
And that'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know that a new coach, first-time play caller, is necessarily just going to be, batting the hatches. Everything's going to be more aggressive. But you're right. I do think Sean Payton was conservative last year. He played a certain style because he knew that defense could win a lot of games. But I think the Broncos would have been better off with a little bit more wide open, not just, a million passes to the running backs over and over and over. So, again, new voice might help. It might not. We might be sitting here going, why on earth would Sean Payton, a future Hall of Fame coach, consider giving a play caller? Davis Webb wasn't ready. They just went 14-3 last year. Why are they changing everything? But I do think there's a potential positive there that overrides that, and I'm interested to see how it all turns out.
So Broncos hire Robert Livingston from Colorado today. He was the D coordinator for the Buffs. Had a nice year in 2024. Not great defense this past year. He's going to be the defensive pass game coordinator, secondary coach, teaming up with Vance Joseph. Is that a big headline, Robert Livingston at CU going to the Broncos?
I think more that he's leaving Colorado. I mean, we remember a year ago, I guess it seems like a lot longer ago, that Colorado was such a hot thing, and Deion was such a hot thing, and being the coach there, and then they have a really bad season, and now guys leave it. I don't think it's ever a downward, movement when you move from college to the NFL. You're trying to get your foot in there when you have a chance, and he's got a pretty big role with the Broncos now. But it is still surprising that, guys are leaving Colorado after how hot they were a year ago. But I think this is also an important move for the Broncos because they got to start worrying about when Vance Joseph's going to leave. Like, Sean Payton was very open yesterday about he could not believe Vance Joseph didn't get a head coaching job. And I think that if they have another good year on defense, I think that is coming for Vance Joseph at some point. Like, it's going to be hard to keep denying him a second shot at a head coaching job. So I think that's the main takeaway for me is the Broncos are already looking towards the future and trying to figure out, okay, if Vance leaves in a year, who's going to be the guy to replace him? And I think that this is a move set up to at least give them options.
Talking NFL with Frank Schwab, NFL writer at YahooSports.com. Find him on X at Yahoo Schwab here on the Nate Brown Show. Let's go to the Vikings. So I'm a big believer the Vikings should go heavy and hard after Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are going to have a breakup there. It just seems that way. Am I off on that? If you're the Vikings, do you go after Kyler Murray?
I guess. I just think Kyler's not it. I just don't think he's a starting NFL quarterback. I just don't think he's any good.
Really?
I think he's way overpaid. Yeah, we keep waiting. Like, what are we in year 9 of Kyler Murray? And every offseason we hear, this is the breakout, this is the breakout, this is the breakout, this is the breakout, this is the breakout. At some point, it ain't happening. Like, this is who he is. And I mean, I think that he's just what he is. Like, I guess he's in that there are not right now 32 really appealing options to start a quarterback. I think in that way he's a starting NFL quarterback. I don't think he's ever going to win anything. The Cardinals have never won a playoff game with him, and I think there's good reason for that. I just think he's a guy. He's just okay, and I don't think he solves any of the Vikings' issues. I really don't. I think he's just the next problem. It depends on the price. Like, are you getting him late-round draft pick, and they pick up a lot of the salary? Okay, well, now all of a sudden the math starts to change a little bit. And, if you're taking a really, really low-risk shot on whether, Kyler can have a better, time under Kevin O'Connell, who's been really, really good most of his quarterbacks, all right, then maybe. But I wouldn't acquire Kyler Murray and think that anything is going to be different than it was from his time in Arizona. Yeah, you're going to get splash plays. For stretches, you're going to get some productivity, but you're never really going to win anything with him. I just don't think he's a very good NFL quarterback. If the light hasn't turned on by now, I just don't think it is.
Competition committee meeting this week in the NFL. No tush-push ban proposals. It was close last year, and now nothing. What do you think?
Yeah, I just don't think that. At some point, if you're going to reintroduce this, you got to make sure you have the votes. You're not just going to keep reintroducing this year after year after year and hoping for a different result. And I assume anyway that these NFL teams realized nothing's really changed from last year. I think and this is kind of morbid, I guess, but I think what they're waiting on is a star quarterback to get hurt on a tush push, whether it's Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or whatever, and then they could say, "See, it's ridiculous." I get that the logic is ridiculous, but they could then go to come back and vote for, propose a ban and say, look, Josh Allen tore his ACL. We told you it was a dangerous play. They don't have that yet. It's not a dangerous play based on all of the facts of it, all of the data and whatnot. But I think they need something like that to get more votes than they had last year. Just proposing this every year and failing every year isn't getting anywhere. So I think that was a big part of it.
There is a discussion they're saying on aiding the runner, though, Frank. So, picking up the running back, the quarterback, and carrying him for 7 yards or 11 yards like Josh Allen to a touchdown.
Right.
How do they stop this? I guess you had it quite a while ago where you can't just move a runner forward. Would that be possible?
Yeah, and I think it should be. I don't like it. I'm not even against the tush push ban anymore, just because I don't think it's very competitive play. And again, I think I've used this example for you before, where baseball got rid of the shift because it just didn't help the aesthetics of the game, and the hockey got rid of the neutral zone trap because it wasn't good for the aesthetics and watchability of the game. And I feel the same way about the tush push. I feel the same way about, hey, our offensive lineman going to pick up this running back and drag him for 6 yards. That's not really football to me. That's just kind of. And it's been banned before. It's not like you mentioned years ago that was illegal. Why not make it illegal again? So, I just don't. I think that we're getting close to a point where all of this is going to come to an end. It's just not this year, especially with the tush push, because I just don't think they have the momentum this year for it.
Frank Schwab in tonight talking NFL. YahooSports.com for the coverage. Frank, always appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely, Nate. Appreciate it.
See ya. Frank Schwab tonight, YahooSports.com, national NFL writer, live from Denver tonight. Find him on X at Yahoo Schwab. Headlines across the board. Frank Schwab does not agree with me about Kyler Murray. Well, that's not the first. It's not the first. But I will tell you, Vikings fans, what are you going to do? I mean, you got to have something fresh. You got to have something new. You got to have a guy that's played. This J.J. McCarthy experiment's not going well. And then there's nobody else. You can't go to the Kirk Cousins deal. I mean, you can't do that. Don't do that, please. I mean, that'd be okay for me because it'd be so interesting to have Kirk Cousins back in the mix, but you got to go Kyler Murray, get some juice, get some new stuff. I mean, this guy can sling it with Justin Jefferson. He has new weapons around him. I'm all in on Kyler Murray. Frank Schwab doesn't believe he can be a good quarterback. He's just he's just a guy. I don't think so. I think Kyler Murray in a different scenario than anywhere but Arizona. He's only been in Arizona. We've seen QBs go to different teams, right, guys? Have success. Different teams, different organizations, different offense. That's what Minnesota could do. So don't just pigeonhole Kyler Murray because it's Arizona. He hasn't done well. Nobody has. I mean, the Cardinals have struggled big time. So I'm all in on Kyler Murray. We got a lot of people that are, split on this. Here on the Nate Brown Show, anyway. People have texted in, Kyler's bad, Kyler's trash, Kyler this. It's like, well, who are you guys going to get? Did you watch JJ last year when he was healthy? So you got to go get somebody. All right, I've got somebody for you. South Dakota sports fans sometimes don't like this guy. Is this genuine or not? Or is he just poking the bear all the time? Is he really doing that? I'm going to have a real discussion with Mike McFeely from North Dakota Inforum.com columnist, my next guest.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be there. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic, and the number one hospital in the orthopedic surgery.
Show your home for claim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Hey, thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Wednesday edition of the program across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Thought-provoking sports talk, 2 hours, ready to go on Fox Sports Radio tonight. KWSN Sioux Falls, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in. The Nate Brown Show, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, my family's banking partner. I've been with them now, and I'm trying to tell you, this is the bank. Get a bank that works for you. It's the right choice for us. Great loan rates on vehicles, for example. We've had those. Personal business loans. Check them out. Great place to bank. Mobile technology is outstanding. Convenience, personal connection. Go to bhfcu.com. 18 locations in South Dakota, from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. bhfcu.com. Start there. Become a member and take advantage of all the benefits at Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Hey, Mike McFeely's in tonight. Am I going to get in trouble for talking about FCS, FBS, Mountain West, all this stuff with Mike McFeely. Am I going to get in trouble on this? He's a great guest. I believe that. I'm going to give him some credit. Columnist in Forum.com, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show. I wonder if I'm going to get in trouble, Mike, because I see you get people in South Dakota so fired up. What is the deal there?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And second of all, you have the best bumper music of any radio program on which I appear. So,
all right.
I don't know if you're a one-man band picking out your own music, so congratulations for that. I don't know why I get people in South Dakota so riled up. I'm just offering my opinions on what is going on, and there seems to be some problems or people that have problems with that. And by the way, it's not just limited to South Dakota. It also spreads to Minnesota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, wherever our website Inform.com reaches. But I don't know what am I guilty of this time? I guess I'm not aware of anything recently.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just saw some South Dakota sports fans that are kind of hitting you, and you say, you talk negatively about SDSU and you poke the bear and all of that stuff. Do you poke SDSU on purpose?
I poke the fans on purpose because a lot of them just aren't very informed. But I have no problem with South Dakota State. It's been a great rivalry for North Dakota State. There's going to be a fantastic ball game tonight in Fargo between two really good mid-major women's basketball teams. No, I respect what South Dakota State has done in their move to Division I. I guess the problem that I would see, or maybe where I was poking some fun at people, is I don't know why they get so riled up about what North Dakota State is doing in FBS and why they left. And I've already had people take shots here at NDSU, which I don't work for NDSU, I work for the Forum, about their conference schedule that was released by the Mountain West yesterday. And that's fine. I mean, if you think that playing New Haven, Eastern Illinois, Murray State, and Indiana State in Brookings is better than playing Nevada, Wyoming, Northern Illinois, and UTEP in Fargo, then that's an opinion you can have. I would disagree with it. But I don't know why people maybe they're upset because their team is still in FCS and their rival moved to FBS. Maybe that's why they're so upset. I don't know.
Let me ask you this question, which I asked yesterday on this show. I said, will you, as South Dakota sports fans, so I asked South Dakota sports fans, will you be more interested in NDSU football now that they're in the Mountain West this season? I asked them if they'd be more interested. My Twitter poll said no. But people texted in.
Of course it did.
But wait. Twitter poll said no, but people texted in a bunch that said, yes, I'm a Jacks fan. I will be interested in NDSU. What do you think about that perspective? Will people in the FCS and the Missouri Valley, for example, be interested in NDSU at UNLV this next year?
They will be watching every move that North Dakota State makes. Hoping for them to lose and go 0-12, probably, which is fine. But for any South Dakota State fan or any Missouri Valley Football Conference fan to say they're not going to pay any attention to North Dakota State is the biggest pile of bull crap I've ever heard in my life. And anybody that says that is a flat-out liar and in denial of what they're going to be. I'm not saying that they're going to be as invested as they once were, because the Jacks and Coyotes used to play North Dakota State, so it mattered to see what the Bison had, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But to say, no, I'm not interested in what NDSU is doing is a pile of bull crap as high as Mount Rushmore.
Okay, nice line. By the way, I do believe they will be interested, too. That's why I asked that question here in South Dakota. I said, of course, we're going to be interested. Now, can I throw this your way? I don't know if NDSU will win a game on the road. Am I off base? I'm talking in the conference.
Yeah, and I wrote about that yesterday, that they certainly didn't get any favors from the Mountain West. It seems hard for me to believe they're going to go 0-4 in the conference on the road. But I did write that if they go 2-2, that's a pretty good first year in the Mountain West. But it's certainly going to be challenging, and that's the whole point of this. That's the whole idea of why North Dakota State moved to the Mountain West, is they wanted to try some new horizons, and they had people like me griping for 5 or 6 years that playing Murray State and Indiana State and Eastern Illinois and New Haven was boring. And the fans here in Fargo, by the way, were voting with their feet and with their pocketbooks as well, because they weren't showing up for the games anymore. And so if in this first year, if there are some rough patches, and if they do indeed go 0-4 on the road, that's what North Dakota State signed up for. And they're going to have to get better, and they're going to have to be better at recruiting and better at getting better players, and that's okay. People might not be happy, and all of the Missouri Valley Football Conference will be laughing, thinking that, oh, they made such a big mistake. No, they didn't. If they struggle the first year, that'll be okay. They'll be just fine in the long run.
Mike McFeely on tonight from Inforum.com, columnist here on the Nate Brown Show. You said maybe if they could squeak away 2-2. I don't know who they're beating there. I'm telling you, I think they might be able to beat Air Force. Maybe. They're kind of up and down and around. Hawaii, no-go. UNLV, no-go. And New Mexico's a lot better than you think.
Yeah, they are. Air Force struggled last year, but Tim Polsek has told us, the head coach at NDSU has told us, that Air Force used to just chew up Wyoming when Polsek was at Wyoming. Hawaii, that's a little different. That's a 4,000-mile flight or whatever it is out to Hawaii. I don't know that the team is super fantastic, although I don't really know if we know about the teams in 2026 because of the transfer portal. But UNLV is going to be tough for sure. New Mexico is going to be tough for sure. Air Force is just a different. They run an option offense, and Hawaii, the road trip, I think, is going to make it tough there. But NDSU is just fine. I don't know if they're going to have the team they had last year, but they're going to have some advantages at certain positions. I talked to Matt Entz, the head coach now at Fresno State, who was at NDSU, of course, for 5 years as a head coach. 5 years as an assistant. He coached in the Mountain West last year. He said NDSU should be just fine up front, offensive and defensive lines, linebackers. He said the biggest difference that they're going to maybe struggle to catch up with is in the skill positions on the outside, the receivers and the cornerbacks. He said there is a significant difference in those outside perimeter skill positions in the Mountain West compared to the Missouri Valley Football Conference, which makes sense, where it's geographically centered. But we'll see. I think we've watched NDSU play now for 15 years in FCS, or 20 years, whatever it's been. They're pretty good at what they do. So I'm not going to say they're going to go 0-4 on the road, although it's going to be difficult. There's no question about that. I'm not questioning that at all. But again, that's what people say they want, or say they wanted around here, and so that's what they're going to get.
Wyoming's coming up there to the Fargo Dome. I'm just curious about this one. Can Wyoming NDSU turn into a rivalry here? Geographic, program connections, could that be a rivalry in this conference?
It could be. That and Northern Illinois would seem to be the two maybe natural rivals. Northern Illinois is going to be in the same footprint for recruiting as North Dakota State. I think the coaches are going to run into each other a lot in Illinois, Iowa, areas like that for players. Wyoming, of course, geographically, it's not close to Fargo necessarily. It's close to the southwestern border of North Dakota. But there's some history between the schools with Craig Bowl. The big joke, of course, is fans think there should be something called the Bowl.
There you go.
To be played for between the two teams, and I don't know that NDSU would be opposed to something like that, but that may come down the road, and we'll see how things unfold naturally. NDSU is going to be, they're going to find that teams are going to be laying in wait for them this year, like they were in 2008 when they first went in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. There's been so much talk about the Bison. There's been so much focus by the conference on the Bison. There's been so many headlines and so many people predicting that they were going to just roll right through the Mountain West in their first year. There's going to be teams that are going to be waiting for them to play them, and especially I think those those 3 or 4 teams that you mentioned on the road earlier. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. There's a lot of excitement in Fargo. Fans are excited. There's just a new energy. There's going to be always people griping. There's people griping already about, they didn't get any of the good teams at home. Well, you know what? It's their first year in the conference. They're going to take care of the heritage members first, and that's fine. I think that once this non-conference schedule comes out, just some of the rumors flying around about that, I don't think they're going to get a P4 team this year, but they should get some solid group of 6 teams, including a couple that should come to Fargo. It's going to be a whole different ball game for Bison fans, and I think they're going to turn out in some pretty good numbers at the Dome again, and as well as, by the way, going to Vegas whenever that game is. I talked to somebody today who said there's already talk of adding a couple of Allegiant flights from Fargo that weekend to fly out from Fargo to Las Vegas. So it's a whole new thing. People are excited. The town is excited. The football program's excited, and I think people will enjoy following NDSU. Even those in South Dakota who say they won't, they will.
I will be following it. You know this. Last quick hitter as I let you run. Cole Payton. Is he an NFL QB?
One of the mock drafts I saw was 3rd round. I just read something from Mel Kiper saying that he is the 6th best-rated quarterback overall in the draft this year. So that would tell me that he is going to be drafted somewhere. A lot of rawness still. A lot of questions about he only played 1 year in FCS. A lot of questions about his mechanics. But the size, the athleticism, the arm strength, all that stuff checks out. And so I think Cole Payton is going to get a chance with somebody drafted 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and he'll probably be a 3rd-string quarterback. And if that doesn't work out, you know what? Maybe they move him to tight end or something like that to take advantage of his size and athleticism.
Mike McFeely popping in tonight. I don't know if he made people upset in South Dakota tonight. He might have. I mean, you threw out some terms tonight again. You threw out some big terms.
You know what? I cannot wait for that New Haven, South Dakota State game, because that is going to be awesome.
There we go.
And when Murray State comes to Brookings in October or November, I can't wait to see those 10,000 fans filling Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. It's a 20,000-seat stadium, so it's only going to be half full for that game. So I can't wait for those exciting games while they snipe and gripe and bitch about North Dakota State and move into the Mountain West.
You just had to do that. I know. You just had to do it.
Totally.
Inforum.com.
I totally gave you a sound bite or a clip for Twitter, so have fun with it.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you. Mike McFeely on tonight, columnist from Inforum.com. Always one of our favorites. Whether you like it or not, one of our favorites. Inforum.com for his work here on the Nate Brown Show. Let's come back with a big headline out of this sports betting discussion in Pierre. So there's some stuff going on right now. There's a committee meeting right now. Matt Kearney's been on this, the producer of the Nate Brown Show, the famous Matt Kearney. So if you want this, I've got an update here. Here's a headline. How many people have left South Dakota to make a mobile sports bet? How many people? There's a company that's been tracking this. They just gave the results today. How many people went across the border, Iowa, and then into Wyoming on the western side? Let's get into this next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles with loans as unique as them. Trucks, cars, SUVs, we finance them all with local service and rates starting as low as 4.99% APR. That's right, 4.99%. Keep your loan local and find the one that fits you at bhfcu.com. Apply today online or text 605-718-1818 to get started. Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member-owned and insured by NCUA.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterpark.com.
Finding the right gear starts with finding the right people. At Trav's Outfitter, we take the time to get to know you, to understand the work you do, and help you find the gear that fits that work. We're here to earn your trust one visit at a time. Because when you work hard, where you shop should work just as hard for you. Visit us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 27 tonight under clear skies. Winds out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 60. Lows around 35 tomorrow night. Clear skies. Mainly clear Friday with highs around 60. 41 chance of snow Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 48 degrees.
Danny Meno Rapid Chevrolet means service. We service all makes and models, even if you didn't buy it from us. Everything from oil changes to more serious repairs. And we sell tires. We'll beat anyone's price on the same exact tires and free rotations for the life of the tires. And if you find yourself in need of some body work, our body shop is gold certified and we can put any make or model back in shape. See us at Danny Meno Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMenoRapidChevrolet.com.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
The high school basketball season wraps up this weekend on Fox Sports Rapid City. On Friday, the Rapid City Stevens Raiders host the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors in a doubleheader beginning at 6. Then on Saturday, the Rapid City Central Cobblers battle Sioux Falls Washington beginning at 12:30. I'm Jerome Wickersham. Join Dean Biradme for the pregame shows Friday at 5:45 and Saturday at 12:15. The Raiders meet the Warriors on Friday, the Cobblers and the Warriors on Saturday, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live tonight on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates across South Dakota. We appreciate you being here. KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show live. Mike Zers coming up, Brandon Valley head girls basketball coach. What another great season for Brandon Valley girls. Can they win the title? Well, Brandon Valley's been really good. O'Gorman's right there. Mike Zers coming up. Historic night last night for Brandon Valley girls basketball. So we'll get into that. Coach Zers coming up. A lot to get to. 5 questions from Chris tonight. Chris sends me 5 questions. I try and give you 5 answers. That's on tap. But, man, there's some stuff hitting today. So let's get into it. You're just tuning in. This is big news out of the South Dakota House, where we've been following this. Sports betting in South Dakota. Right now, you have to go to Deadwood, to the casinos, and that's how that's been ever since the voters voted it through, said, yes, we want sports betting. You got to go to Deadwood, to the BetMGM Sportsbook where I go, and you do that whole thing. There's been this effort in the legislature the last few years trying to get it to mobile sports wagering like many states. Iowa, Wyoming, Colorado. I mean, you just go through the list. There's a ton of states that do the mobile sports wagering. So there's been this effort. This year, it got through the Senate with a pretty easy vote. I mean, it got through the Senate committee first, and then it went to the full floor of the Senate a couple of weeks ago. That went through pretty easy. I mean, there was a lot of yays, not that many nays. So then the process is, I just want to fill you in, it goes to the House. You got to get it through a committee and to the floor, and then it would go to the voters, essentially. And that's what this was about. Mobile sports wagering, should it go to us, the voters, to say yes or no in November? Well, what just happened, there's 2 things that happened today. South Dakota House State Affairs Committee. They were discussing it, and there was people, opponents and proponents. So they were discussing. This is the committee process in the House. One headline that came out of this: there's a company that tracks how people are making sports bets. So they have this technology. They track us, right? And I mean, yeah, just figure that one out. But you guys all know this. Here's what they tracked. During the NFL season here in South Dakota, 7,500 state border crossings to Iowa and Wyoming to make sports bets, mobile sports bets. So this is from GeoComply Solutions. This is a company who's monitoring the sports wagering on mobile devices. So what does that tell you? I mean, you guys aren't surprised by that, right? People just drove right into Iowa, mobile sports bet on an NFL Sunday. People drove on the west side right into Wyoming. You could do the BetMGM app right there. And they did this. 7.4 thousand state border crossings to neighboring states where people place sports wagers on mobile devices. And then the heavy one, 93% of those went from South Dakota to Iowa. Go figure. So what does that tell us? Everybody in Sioux Falls Metro and this whole area, they're doing sports betting. They just drive over to Iowa. Instead, if you brought this into South Dakota, the revenue and all of that would stay here. It would still be operated through a Deadwood licensed casino, but it would be your app that you could have. So, for example, BetMGM Sportsbook, which I go to in Deadwood, they could have the app. You could place a sports wager from anywhere in the state. That's what this was all about. Those were some interesting numbers at the State Affairs Committee, but it wasn't enough to convince the legislators on that committee today to move it to the floor. It got defeated. So yeah, big headline today. This wasn't about making mobile sports wagering available through the legislature. This was about putting it on the ballot for you and I to vote. That's why I've always been a proponent of that. Put big issues on the ballot for the people to vote. And then, by the way, legislators, don't switch the will of the people like you've done, winky face. Okay? But in this case, they're not even going to let the people vote again. So it got killed, essentially. State Affairs Committee, they said no. It was kind of a tight vote initially, and then they sent it to the 41st day, which means it's kind of like dead. Now, hang on here, because we've talked to some people that have sponsored this. Casey Crabtree, a senator out of Madison. I wouldn't be surprised if this revived here. I wouldn't be surprised if something revived here that they could adjust or do something with and try and get it through. But the State Affairs Committee today said no. So as of today, mobile sports wagering in South Dakota will not be going to the voters in November, as of today, because you got to get it through a committee and then you got to get it to the House floor. That process was stopped for now today. I think voters in South Dakota could make the choice because all the legislators keep saying, I just, that's why I voted no. I just don't want this to be a bad thing. I understand, guys. I understand the scenario and everybody's concerns, and everybody has their own personal reasons. You are representing people, your district, and if people want to vote on something, I think you could allow them to vote for it, couldn't you? But they said no today, so we'll keep an eye on that. See if it gets revived in some way. It hasn't made it through the legislature in the last few years. They've tried it. This one here was supported by a lot. Deadwood was in on this, legislators, various sponsors. So this was an easy vote in the Senate. And now it couldn't even make it through a House committee today. So coming into the second hour here on the Nate Brown Show, I do want to get into this big topic. So state tournaments are less than a month away. State basketball tournaments, one of my favorite times of year. I haven't missed a state tournament in how long? 25 years, something like that. I haven't missed a state tournament. Me and my buddies, we hit it. I used to cover them. Now we hit whatever tournament we're going to go to. But you know what's different? 25 years ago, the crowds were huge. Just 25 years ago, huge crowds. Now, why do we not have huge crowds at all at state basketball tournaments? It's my question of the day. Think on it. We'll be back with it.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together. His greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Show your home some love with an upgrade to Acclaim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Anyone?
Only if I could eat it inside. Trust me, it's warmer out here than it is in the house.
If only they knew that Renewal has Acclaim custom windows and ensemble doors to keep their home warm and cozy. With financing options even cheapskate Jerry can afford.
What?
My fingers are frozen.
My nose hairs are frozen. Mine broke off. Worst party ever.
Make the best decision for your home with exclusive custom-fit Acclaim windows and ensemble doors. Only from Renewal by Andersen. Learn more at RBARapidCity.com.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Hey, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Second hour ready to go. KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. Appreciate you making this show possible. Busy second hour. We have 5 questions from Chris. We're going to knock that down tonight. Wednesday edition of the program. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Thanks for checking in. If you want to be a part of the conversation, join us. 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. 605-720-1067. Powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 great locations. East River at Brandon locations outstanding, and the East 10th Street in Sioux Falls. Stop by everyone's favorite buffet this week, your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Also, the text line open, 605-720-1067. direct text the show and be a part of the show that way on the Barron's Wilson text line. Mike Zer's coming up as well this hour. Brandon Valley, head girls basketball coach. A historic night for Brandon Valley last night, and this girls program continues to roll. They continue to roll in AA girls. We'll talk to their head coach, Mike Zer. Just got word, a couple of things here. I was telling you about the mobile sports wagering effort in Pierre, and it got hit in committee today. Didn't get out of a House committee today. They're trying to get this to the ballot for you and I to vote on in November. So it got stopped in committee, but I just got word from folks in Pierre. They could smoke this out. What does that mean? It's like, what is this South Dakota politics stuff? They could smoke this out, meaning you get 2/3 majority who forces it out of a committee to the House floor. That's typically what it is. It's like 2/3 majority vote. Like, hey, we got enough support here in the full House to smoke this out, so it can't just be killed in committee. If you have enough support for a resolution, you can smoke it out, they say, and get it to the full House floor. I'm being told that could be a real possibility. I just got word from that in Pierre just 2 minutes ago. So just so you're aware, it's like, this is the process. You follow politics, kind of hard to see now. Why is this so difficult? Why is all this stuff? Well, there's the procedures, and it's a procedural move in South Dakota. You can smoke it out. 2/3 typically is what it takes to get it out. So a committee can't kill it itself, so you rely on like 13 people saying, oh, no, sorry. No, they could smoke it out, the sports wagering, mobile sports wagering, and could go to the full House floor. So that's what they're expecting, some of the folks I just corresponded with in Pierre. So just here a heads up on that. Not totally done. Let's go to this. So less than a month now, we got state basketball tournaments. This isn't a fun time of year. Girls tournaments already starting up, meaning regional play and all that stuff. So that's already going on. AA wrapping up this week and then into postseason play. I've been thinking about something for a while, and I just had somebody send me a message today saying, gone are the days of the 90s and 2000s, when you'd have, early 2000s, when you'd have massive crowds at the state basketball tournaments. And so I was thinking about that, going, we've never really discussed, we've talked about how do we not have big crowds locally at some games? Why don't students go to games anymore? Stuff like that. We haven't addressed, how do you see these pictures of the Sioux Falls Arena, of the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, the Barnett Arena, back in the day, people were hanging from the rafters. These state tournament games were packed. They were packed. And so I got to thinking, it's like, I didn't cover South Dakota high school sports in the 70s, 80s, okay? So I didn't go back that far, and I know that the crowds were huge. You had a two-class system. Some people say, well, that was the deal. You only had A and B, remember? So you only had two state tournaments, and so then everybody watched. Maybe that's part of it, but I'm telling you, since I've been covering it, I've been doing it 26 years, okay? 25, 20, who's counting? I covered state tournaments, AA and A, okay? I haven't covered the Bs. When I first started out, early 2000s, we had huge crowds at state basketball tournaments. So it's not like it was just back in the 80s, that's when people came. Well, no, in the early 2000s, people packed state basketball tournaments. I had huge crowds at Class A. I had some huge crowds at AA. I did. And now you go to these state basketball tournaments. I go to them every year. I think a lot of you guys probably do too. The crowds are a fraction of what they used to be. It's just what it is. So I'm asking you this question tonight. Why is that? Why is that? State basketball tournaments, what has changed? 2026 now, you're going to see state basketball crowds just be kind of the same as they have been just, I don't know, it's probably been for 15 years. I've noticed it. Probably like maybe 15, 20 years. Crowds have slowly just kind of tapered off and dwindled off. And you see state tournaments in Rapid City, there's nobody that goes from East River. Nobody goes, just the parents and people really connected. Maybe you get some friends from school, but it used to be just packed across the board. And we used to have state tournaments in Rapid, in Sioux Falls, the old arena, the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center, Barnett Arena, it'd be packed. Why is it so the crowds are gone? I'd like you to answer that question of the day. I've got some ideas, okay? I've got some ideas. So I am going to throw out, there's something about younger people, and I can say this now because I'm old. There's something about younger people, they're not as dialed in on this high school sports thing. They don't, I don't think they really care as much. It's kind of what you say, well, that's a blanket statement, just blaming the young people. Well, they don't really care as much. When I was younger, and I'm sitting here covering the high school state tournament, I mean, I lived and breathed it. I thought it was great. I thought it was outstanding. I followed these teams, and I mean, I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I don't see a lot of 20-year-olds going to state basketball tournaments. I just don't think there's younger people. I don't know what it is, the connection, and maybe it's been so long now they haven't gone to the games when they're students, so that school spirit thing has impacted. Well, then why would I go as I get kind of older and I'm starting my life and I'm doing all this? Why would I go and watch a state basketball tournament in South Dakota? I didn't go when I went to school. Is that the thing? So I think younger people are disconnected with it. I really do. I don't think they're into it. They're not into it. Families. What about families? Do you see families going? I don't know. I mean, I think back in the day, you see families go, sports families, they'd love to watch that stuff. Now I think families are going every which way but loose. You can say, well, we got this concert, we got this youth tournament, we got this, we got that. Well, there's a state basketball tournament in your town. Oh, yeah, I know. I would go, but, man, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got soccer. We got gymnastics. I mean, I do think that whole youth sports business model has then taken away. It's like, well, we can't go to a state basketball tournament. We got everything else going on. Families are really, really busy. They make themselves busy. I get it. I'm there. I'm in the middle of that. And last but not least, statewide TV coverage. As good as I think it is. And I've told you, SDPB is really good. I watch the games on SDPB, you bet, just like you guys. I think it's outstanding. I still go to every single tournament. I haven't missed a tournament in I don't know how long. So I still go to the tournaments. And, yes, I watch the games if they're finishing up when I get home and stuff like that. So the statewide coverage has impacted crowds. It has to. It has to. If you know I can watch this game on a Thursday and just kind of determine, well, I might go to Rapid, I might go to Sioux Falls if my team wins, then you kind of just like, well, or I could just stay here and watch it. So those are my three hitters on it. I think young people don't care as much. They really don't care about the high school sports state basketball. It's not like it's a big thing. I think it's awesome. But I don't think the young people care as much. Families are really busy. They're just off the charts, running every which way. We got a travel tournament here. We got this going on. And they're not going to the state basketball tournament and the statewide TV coverage. So if you could vote on that, what is your take? What is your take? We haven't ever asked that question. We're less than a month away from state basketball. What's the biggest reason? The biggest reason, the huge crowds like we used to have at the arena, at the Civic Center, Barnett Arena, they're gone. It's a fraction of what it used to be. And I don't see where that would change. Used to be huge crowds at state basketball to the top. And you don't even get close now. It's like, oh, the arenas are bigger. I understand, but you can barely fill up the bottom bowl. A lot of these places. What's your reason for that? My question of the day tonight. If you could send it in, I'll sign you up. We'll pull out one winner for a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch 605-720-1067 on the text line tonight. Biggest reason our state basketball crowds have fallen off the map. Coming right back with 5 questions from Chris. Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Show your home some love with an upgrade to Acclaim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
All right, good stuff tonight. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. Wednesday edition of the program, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. If you missed parts of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every guest, every show, from high school to college to the pros, trying to get you covered. Whatever you're interested in, you can listen to the podcast. Fast forward, rewind. It's on demand. The Nate Brown Show podcast, available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out there. We are live right now. Best to get us live, right? Although I do have a guy, he enjoys walking his dog in the morning and listening to the Nate Brown Show podcast. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Mike Zer's coming up. Brandon Valley, head girls basketball coach. I want to talk to him a lot about his program. He's continuing to win. He's got a great team. And record-setting score last night. So we'll get into that, but some questions about basketball in general. Why do we not have huge crowds at the state basketball tournaments like we used to? And I'm not telling you 70s, 80s stuff. I mean, the crowds were huge. They were really massive. It's just like, what's happened to that culture? What's happened there? I brought out some ideas that I think. Statewide TV coverage, to me, is a big factor. Really convenient, really easy. You just pull it up on SDPB. It's high-quality coverage, and I think that keeps people away from the games big time. And it's good to have it. I understand, but that is a factor. Families going every which way except for the state tournaments is a factor. They have they're interested in their kids, right? I mean, I understand this, guys. So I'm going to be in a youth basketball tournament when there's a state tournament going on. Now, I'm going to go to both, but like if there's one of my, if my team's playing, that's it, right? So that's a factor. Youth sports is going on, whatever activities. So I think families are really busy, and that used to not be the case. That was kind of an event that you went to. And I think younger people in general have lost the connection of going to games. I think younger people in general could really care less about going to games, let alone high school games. So that's my read. What would you vote for? A lot of people are chiming in on this. Listener text, it has to be the streaming and the TV coverage. Has to be the streaming and the TV coverage. Here's another one. Ticket prices and travel costs. Okay? Listener text, they need better senior pricing. The cost is too high. I understand the cost. I haven't looked at that in a while. I have my famous media pass. I haven't looked at the cost. I get to go into my suite. No, I'm kidding. But I did notice here the prices were like, you used to get a whole session for this price, and now you got to buy separate and stuff. I was always thought, that's interesting. Here's one listener text. Don't need to go to Rapids, Sioux Falls, or Aberdeen to get things anymore. Everybody buys it on Amazon. Not a special outing to go to a bigger city now. Oh, interesting. Hey, we got to go to town. We got to go to town and pick up a TV, and then we'll go and watch Brandon Valley win the state title. We'll see. We'll see what you think on that. Listener text coming in. School spirit is lost. Same teams every year, and youth sports is at the same time. There's a 3-hitter for you. School spirit is lost. Same teams every year, and youth sports at the same time. All right, keep them coming. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067 on the text line. Why don't we have huge crowds like we used to at all the state basketball tournaments? Okay, let's get into this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Here we go. Chris, how you doing, man? Thanks for sending them in, as always. 5 questions from our loyal listener, Chris, on the Nate Brown Show. Question 1. In 1996, U.S. Hockey started a national development program to identify the best hockey players. The kids would all live and go to high school in Michigan, travel and play in tournaments. Could this idea of identifying and develop a national team work for U.S. soccer with the goal of winning the World Cup? That's interesting. So they identify them, they send them to a place, they do all that. U.S. Hockey has advanced, and they've got a system. I will say that, Chris. I don't know the ins and outs of all this stuff. I know U.S. soccer should be really, really good, but I do think U.S. soccer loses some athletes to other sports. I really do. Football is a huge one. So you got some great athletes, some strong physical athletes. Soccer does lose some athletes to competitive sports like football. I do believe that. So I don't know if that same model would work. Why can't the U.S. win the World Cup? Soccer's been behind here, and they're developing, and they have all this. But I do think it's fragmented. You got U.S. club soccer. You got U.S. youth soccer. You got this soccer. You got that soccer. You got the NPL. You got this. You got the ECNL. It's like, who is this? What is this? So I do think it's a little broken up. So that's interesting. U.S. soccer probably needs some improvements. I don't know how they could win the U.S. World Cup. We might be a ways away. Question number 2. Biggest complaint of the gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. was the overtime rule when it was 3-on-3. The NHL was in charge of the hockey at the Olympics, so they went with 3-on-3 sudden death golden goal. The NHL players will be back next Winter Olympics. Do you think that we should have a 20-minute overtime period or just do the 3-on-3 golden goal? Let's do the 3-on-3. I thought that was exciting. You only got a couple of minutes. Go 3-on-3. Everybody stop whining. Man, if I had a nickel for everybody that whined about this hockey thing, from the 3-on-3 to the political side to the this, I mean, it's like, can we stop? Let's just enjoy it, move forward. Give them a congratulations. It was a big-time win. End of story. See ya. Question number 3. Adam Silver's told the 30 NBA GMs and front offices that the NBA will have new anti-tanking rules in place next season. Some of the ideas, draft lottery odds could be frozen at the trade deadline, and lottery odds are no longer weighted in teams' win-loss record. Mark Cuban says the NBA should lean into tanking. We all know that drafting a good player can change a franchise. Nate, how should the NBA deal with tanking and pushing for teams getting a high draft pick in the lottery? I mean, I don't know this answer, Chris. I mean, this is a tough question. You give the draft the top pick, you have this lottery system. I think you should just even the odds. Okay? So whatever the lottery is, just even the odds. So I don't want the bottom teams tanking more just to get the best odds. So if you're in that bottom half, just even the odds. So then maybe it's like, well, we're in the bottom half, but we're still going to try and win and compete because we have the same odds as this team that has 4 more losses. That's my only idea. Even the odds, and yes, freeze them after the trade deadline. I'm fine with that so we don't have this tanking in the last half of the year. Question number 4. 5 questions from Chris. The NFL Combine's going on this week. Most important part of the Combine is what's not shown on TV, the interview process. Should the NFL eliminate the Combine and instead host Zoom meetings between the players and teams? Most players have a pro day at their home campus anyway. I'm okay with the Combine. I'm okay with it. I think it does give some measurables where you can see a guy and you can be like, man, this guy's off the charts. So I think the measurables don't need to be like the number one thing, like the vertical jump, the 40. But I like seeing it. It's interesting. I'm not like worried about the NFL Combine being this, it's a waste of time. I get it. They're doing a lot more than just watching you sprint and jump and lift and throw. But I'm fine with it. NFL Combine, Chris, I'm okay. It's not a big deal. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. Spring training baseball started up because the World Baseball Classic's coming up. The tournament's supposed to be a big showcase with the best players for each nation. But now, 2 of the best pitchers, Skubal and Skeens, will only pitch once in the tournament. Is MLB ruining their own product with limiting 2 of the best to play the game? Well, I don't know who decided this, Chris. So I do think it's bogus that you're going to play in the World Baseball Classic and you have 2 of the best pitchers and they're like, well, I'll pitch in one of the games. So if Major League Baseball or their organizations decided, yeah, we'll let you pitch one of the games, well, then it devalues the whole World Baseball Classic. Then you're not trying to win the games. You want the best of the best. Don't we all complain about the NBA? Oh, the All-Star Game's terrible. The Olympics. That would be like Steph Curry or somebody saying, I'll play in one of the games for the Olympics. That's what that would be like. Steph Curry, I'm going to load manage for the Olympics. No way, can't have it. That's a bad look, Chris. Bad look. Best pitcher's going to pitch one time in the World Baseball Classic? Devalues the whole thing. It's off my radar. It's gone. 5 questions from Chris in the books tonight. Let's talk to Mike Zerr, Brandon Valley, head girls basketball coach. A lot to discuss with him. He's got a great team trying to win a state AA title coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
President's Day sale is on at Splash City. Rest, relax, and enjoy a new Sundance or Jacuzzi Spa. Soothe your worries away with pure relaxation in the privacy of your backyard. Right now, during the President's Day sale, get 0% financing for 72 months on hot tubs and swim spas, or up to $5,000 in instant manufacturer rebates. Plus, get an accessory package valued at $2,000 with all qualifying purchases. But wait, there's more. Get 0% financing for 48 months on saunas. Visit Splash City in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, or Sioux City. It's time to make a splash. You've earned it.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Luck runs deep at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, where you could win a share of $86,000 in cash and prizes. Every Friday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. till midnight, Cadillac Jack's will have drawings twice per hour, with cash and prizes growing all night long. Starting at $300 and building up to 3 chances to win $1,000 between 11 p.m. and midnight. Big wins every weekend, no waiting for one grand prize night. See how far your luck can take you at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales. Winter is here, and as always, we're here to help with all your winter automotive needs. From mobile oil changes to around the wheel and under the hood repairs, we fix most everything, and we'll do it at an affordable price. What about tires, batteries, and brakes? Absolutely. With over 50 brand name tires, we have deals as good as anywhere. 10% off our Duralast Pro Power Ultra batteries, a 5-year battery with roadside assistance, and flat out the best brake deal around at just $399 per axle with new pads, rotors, labor, and a lifetime warranty for most vehicles. Fantastic. And if people need financing, can you help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, an interest-free card for 6 months on every repair over $199, which saves a lot of people who need immediate help with repairs. Get an answer in minutes from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button. Take advantage of that card, people. See anytimeanytime.com. And, of course, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. Great news. I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. We're live on South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state, Fox Sports Rapid City, and welcome you in on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. The Nate Brown Show official outfitter is Trav's Outfitter. We try to tell you guys, if you're on your feet all day working, man, I mean, it's some tough jobs. You need the right work boots. So if you're on your feet, fit matters. Get to the work boot experts at Trav's Outfitter. TravsOutfitter.com. Start there. Take a look at the selection. There's a brand new store, Campbell Street in Rapid City. Family-owned, South Dakota independent retailer, and proud of it. Comfort and support matter when you work for a living. So I'm telling you, Trav's Outfitter's the place. No pressure, no commission-style push from their salespeople. They know boots. They know work boots. They know Western boots. Best selection, best service, no BS. TravsOutfitter.com. Start there and stop by the new store in Rapid City on Campbell Street. Well, this team's rolling again. They are rolling again. I watched them last year. Really, really good. They've been in the mix big time. State championship level in AA girls basketball. And Brandon Valley's back at it again. Their head coach is Mike Zur, and he's on the Nate Brown Show. Coach, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for the coverage, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming on. So, big night last night. I guess I'll start there. It takes a team, but Olivia Paget, all-time leading scorer, Brandon Valley girls basketball. Talk about that accomplishment.
Yeah, just an incredible accomplishment for just a kid that works incredibly hard at what she loves to do, which is basketball. And like you said, everybody on the team is super excited for her, and probably more excited than Liv is, to do something like that. And, it makes this group special in the sense of, you've got one player that's putting up some pretty insane numbers and from a points perspective and that sort of thing. And, they're all able to celebrate that. And just incredibly proud of her for doing the things that she does, not just scoring the ball, but just everything for our team. Just an incredible competitor and somebody who loves the work and loves her back.
I wanted to ask you about her journey here. Take us through when you kind of noticed she's going to be one of these players. What sets her apart?
I think it's just her ability to keep getting better. And you have a lot of kids that are really good when they're young, and they progress, and they get to a point and they level off, and they're still really good players. And the cool part about Liv is that she just hasn't gotten to that point. She just continues to work, and as a freshman she comes in and ends up earning her way into the starting lineup right away, and obviously is super dynamic and can score the ball at the rim and lead a team. And then as a sophomore, you see her expand her game offensively, and then as a junior, just as a leader, a floor leader, defender, all of those things. And now this year as a senior, she extends to being able to shoot the basketball too, and becomes a true three-level scorer. And it's just really cool to see that progression, and it's the fun part about coaching high school kids.
Mike Zur's on tonight. Brandon Valley head girls basketball coach. They're undefeated in AA girls basketball. Their senior guard, Olivia Paget, hit the scoring mark last night in the win over Mitchell. All-time leading scorer now in Brandon Valley girls basketball history. Paget's 5'7". I watched her last year. I thought she could slash, drive it, hit the mid-range stuff. So she does a lot of things well. Is it more impressive that a guard like this hits the scoring mark than, I don't know, sometimes in girls basketball the posts dominate? Is it more impressive that a guard's at this level?
I think it's just impressive, period. It's tough to say whether it's a forward or a guard or anything like that, and she's got some great players around her, that have helped her get there. Ava Kellenberger's another kid that's going to be in our top 10 scoring all time that has, kind of been her backcourt mate all the way there. And, you don't have milestones, like you said right away, that get accomplished that way without a great team around you to, draw other people and be able to still make plays. It makes this hopefully, very challenging to defend when you've got multiple people that are averaging double digits, and whether it's inside or outside, with how we play and that sort of thing. So I don't know if it's more impressive, but it's impressive nonetheless, for sure.
Brandon Valley girls basketball has been at state championship level the last couple of years. Now you're undefeated again, so people are going to go, okay, in the day of girls basketball where some numbers are down, some programs are struggling, how have you put Brandon Valley in this spot?
We have an incredible community, just people that care a lot about kids and want them to be successful. We've had a ton of great girls that have come through here, that have kind of set the standard. Coach Statham, for 20, 23, 24 years, before I took this over and had the opportunity to work with him, he really set the standard for, basketball being a community thing and getting young kids interested in the game. And, we've hopefully stewarded that pretty well. After he retired with his walking off with his state championship in 2019. But just an incredible community, extremely passionate people and kids that work extremely hard. My job is super fun because you just have a group of girls that, are willing to buy into their roles, whatever that might be, whether it's playing 32 minutes a night or, being the best practice player they can be, and I think when you have leaders like our 8 seniors we have this year, and, we've had big groups of seniors and we haven't had 8. And, they all play different roles on our team, and they do a great job of, setting the standard every day about what it's like, not just on the floor, but just how to treat each other. And is it perfect? Nothing's perfect with 14 to 18-year-old girls. If you can get them to agree on what to wear, going on the road and stuff, normally you're in a pretty good spot. But for the most part, they really take care of each other and look out for each other and want the best for each other.
Brandon Valley girls basketball has been on a roll, and it continues trying to win a AA state title. They're undefeated. Mike Zers, the head coach, tonight here on the Nate Brown Show. So I want to ask you, are you concerned at all about the girls basketball trend, South Dakota, and really they're saying nationwide, but I've seen Nebraska, I've seen Montana, I've seen Wyoming, numbers that have gone down. What do you think's going on?
Certainly it's something that, basketball is a great game, and it's a really hard game to be great at. And I think in our society, a lot of times people will look at it and say, well, if I can't be great, why do it? And, the things you get from being part of a team and doing those things together and, hopefully some of the grassroots things we can continue to do to, get young people just enjoying the game, not necessarily making it about competition 24/7. Just, how can you come in and have fun and enjoy it and play with your friends and do all that stuff? Those things are really important, and girls are being pulled. The kids, period, girls regardless, are getting pulled in a lot of directions these days. There's so many options for kids to do different things, and we always want basketball to stay an option for kids. It's one of the earliest sports that they can get entry into, and hopefully they have great experiences when they're growing up, and then something that they want to keep doing. And as coaches, hopefully we can continue to kind of steward that in our own communities and support one another. I had some great role models in that, and Coach Tatum, like I talked about, and Coach Deckert, Brent Deckert, who were just tremendous at trying to connect with coaches and, being there for each other and supporting each other, along with the kids that are there. So, it's certainly a trend that is concerning, and hopefully it's something where I don't think it's an overnight fix, and I don't have the fix. If I did, I'd, probably be making more money than I am now, doing what I do. Not that it's about money, it's not. But, you hope that everybody can just continue to work together on it and continue to develop a passion for, playing on a team and, doing something that's, ultimately a great game. It's the most beautiful game it is when it gets played right. And, hopefully we can keep stewarding that as we continue to kind of see these trends that are happening.
I see Brandon Valley's doing well, man. You got it going on there. You beat O'Gorman first game of the year, and that's what everybody talks about, coaches. Well, O'Gorman's right there, and Brandon Valley's right there. So you beat them by 9. Are you a different team than that first game? Do you think they are?
Oh, everybody is. It's such a season, especially in AA. You're going to get everybody's best shot every night out. And, we've been fortunate to play some great competition, and get tested kind of through the middle of our schedule, towards the end of our schedule, really, to hopefully be in some of those, tournament-like situations down the stretch and, what it feels like to, playing an overtime game against a great Sioux Falls, Washington team and, to have to come back against a great Marshall team. And O'Gorman just continues to improve. We knew they would, and they've got great young kids, and obviously the championship pedigree, within that, and their senior leaders and coaching staff are just tremendous, and we have a ton of respect for them and really for everybody, and that's what makes AA basketball, especially in the girls' side, so much fun to see what everybody's going to end up like in March. You can be great you want to be good in December, but you don't want to be great in December. And we want to be great and playing our best basketball in March. And, hopefully through the journey of a season, we can continue to peak when it matters the most.
One game left for Brandon Valley. It's Huron in the regular season. Then they'll get into tournament play. Sodak 16 trying to make their way to Rapid City to the AA girls basketball tournament again, trying to win that state title. They have been on a roll, undefeated. Brandon Valley and Mike Zers, the head coach. Coach, good to get you on. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. I wish you the best of luck down the road.
Awesome. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate you.
Appreciate your time tonight. Mike Zers on tonight. That's Brandon Valley, head girls basketball coach. Boy, what a run they've been on. That's a big-time run the last few years. They're undefeated. 5-point win over Washington, 1-point win over Marshall, 9-point win over O'Gorman. There's their closest games. I've been following it. People are wondering, can anybody touch Brandon Valley and O'Gorman? I think Jamie Parrish at Washington's in the mix there. And then after that, you're going, can Stevens make enough shots? They're not very big. AA girls will be interesting as we get set for postseason time. Brandon Valley, the team to beat, it seems, right now. And Olivia Paget, all-time scoring leader, hit that mark last night in the win over Mitchell. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show with Who's Hot and Who's Not. How about South Dakota State and North Dakota State in a women's basketball game tonight? And the stat you probably don't know next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Show your home some love with an upgrade to Acclaim replacement windows and an ensemble entry door. Get 20% off windows and doors with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Plus, get an extra 5% off the entire project if purchased on initial consultation. Energy efficient, durable, and custom made for the perfect fit. It's time to show your home some love. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside. You don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Of the archive. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Okay, we got to roll tonight. Let's roll on the Nate Brown Show. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Stop by the best buffet in town. Brandon location and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Home of everyone's favorite buffet. Who's hot and who's not? Let's roll with this in my Who's Hot category. Happy birthday to Bo Nix. A birthday wish from the Nate Brown Show. Bo Nix, Broncos quarterback, 26 years old, and the future is bright. He is the new offensive coordinator. We're all good. Sparky's going to hang it up, calling plays. In our Pizza Ranch, who's not tonight? North Dakota State playing the Jackrabbit women. North Dakota State hasn't beat the Jackrabbit women in Fargo in 21 years. See you back here tomorrow.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade